Waking up here. I put up a poll here if you're watching live, so feel free to vote on which deck you'd like me to use today. For everybody else, welcome to your monthly reading. We're going to be taking a look at the next 6 to 8 weeks. It's going to be an opportunity for us to basically be able to explore all of the options that are put in front of you. So welcome everyone. Let me put Apollo down for a second here, and then we'll get started. Let's see here. First of all, hopefully you can all hear and see me. It looks like you can. Let me see why my, there we go. My graphic wasn't going up for a second here. So as I was saying, you can always use this reading for your sun, rising, moon, and Venus, and any aspect of your chart that you happen to know. And also at the towards the very end, I should say, we'll take a little bit of a deeper dive looking at sun, rising, and moon in particular. I like to begin with channeled messages. That comes through dreams and meditation and research in the morning, so we'll begin with that first. Before we get into the reading, please hit the subscribe button. That'll make sure that you are never missing out on things. I'm actually starting some new stuff, hopefully this weekend. We'll see when I start on it. I'm experimenting with some shorter and medium length content, so if you haven't voted already for what you'd like to see, there's a post on the community tab. I'm thinking of doing a couple of shorter weekly videos. I've heard a lot of comments about people being busy and not having time to watch the longer ones. To that, I would actually say, by the way, there's always timestamps put in here, so you can always watch the relevant pieces. But I'm thinking that I might do like a 7 and or a 10-minute video per week, one in the midpoint, so that signs can check in, like an elemental check-in, and then maybe at the beginning of the week, like a 7-minute rundown of all the stuff you need to know. So we'll see. I'm trying to do some stuff for the busy people out there and the folks that want more compact readings, so that I have the very, very shorts, some stuff that's in the middle for the people that are busy but want a little bit more, and then we'll keep the long form as well. So nothing's replacing anything. I'm just trying to fill it out a little bit more. If I look at some of the other folks that are doing things on YouTube, I notice that there's that as well. So participate in that poll and let me know what you want, and subscribe so you don't miss out on this new content that I'll be playing around with. And then if you like any of it, absolutely tell me that you like it. That's why the shorts have continued. Everyone has enjoyed the 1-minute breakdown for the day. Join me on social media as well if you like some reminders and updates of what's going to come through for that day. I always try to do it the day before if I can. And remember that if you'd like to show some love and support, you can do it here through a super sticker, super chat, and membership. On social media, do be mindful of the following fact, which is I don't send direct messages or invites. There was someone on YouTube, not YouTube, but Instagram pretending to be me. The only way to interact is here live. So if anyone's trying to get some sort of a service or money or whatever, you know that that's just an imposter. Let me know about it, block them, and we'll all be good for that energy. Okay, let's get into the presentation of the channel messages. Like I said, this morning, there were 2 things that came through. One was Lavender. As I was walking Apollo this morning, I watched a hummingbird kind of sipping on a little lavender bush outside, and I thought, oh, this is what we're going to talk about, lavender today. And then also as I kind of peered into my dreams last night, the key thing that I was looking at was this avoidable exchange of energy. It really kind of ended up being more of a tower moment, but you have plenty of time to get ahead of the tower. So we'll talk about how to trust your intuition. And even if you find yourself in the throes of the tower, like what to do. Because sometimes the tower is a blessing. It forces us to make quick changes. So let's get into the presentation and we'll talk about what I saw and how it's going to relate to you over the next 6 to 8 weeks. Okay, so let me just move to the side so you can see me. So lavender is the main totem, but like I said, we have some messages about avoiding unnecessary difficulty or challenges in your life in the form of the tower. So what I really love about lavender is its ability to kind of help us relax, but it's also about like a clean start. It's the root of the verb, if we go to the etymology, or the noun, is lavare, but that actually is a verb that means to wash. It's actually very close to, I think, what it is in Spanish, right? So anyway, it was used in ancient Rome as a perfume, and also you would find it in bathhouses, and so that people could clean themselves and smell good as they went about their day. So at its very core, the word means just to kind of clean, nice clean energy. So the Fool is one of the cleanest cards I could pull. It's number 0. It's a clean slate. and it is at the beginning of the journey of the Fool. And what I like about this is if we take the calming effect that the essential oil has, you could approach change with that clear, clean mindset, but also with the calm. And the Fool is unbothered. The Fool carries a knapsack, very few things with them, and has their companion, the trusty dog, who's trying to warn them, take a look before you leap. But other than that, the Fool is very much unbothered. And I like that because change, and this is going to be the sort of theme of the channeled messages anyway, change is unavoidable. You might as well be an agent of it. You might as well embrace ambiguity, which is an element of change, and then try to shape it, form it. Because if you think of someone like a potter, and when they're throwing clay on this sort of potter's wheel, it's just potential. It could work great. It could fall apart. If it falls apart, they just mold it again, right? So you're very much like a potter with some clay, and today's a new day, and you get to shape it however you want to, or tomorrow's a new day if you're watching me in the evening, okay? Release and rebirth. So this was fascinating. I've studied lavender before as a totem, but I didn't see this piece until today. Apparently it was used in the mummification process in ancient Egypt. And so it carries with it that process of renewal. Egyptians did not fear death at all. In fact, they planned their whole lives for that because they saw that as the ultimate portal into the eternal life, right? Now, if we just take one piece of that, which is ends are beginnings, and we looked at what we just talked about, I feel some of you have already stepped into the energy of the Fool, but some of you may be 1 foot in, 1 foot out, something old, something new calling to you. So if you just approach that doorway as, yeah, there's something great on the other side, then this could be an amazing experience for you. I feel like some of you may be holding on to something. You could be stagnating a little bit, just feeling stuck, but not knowing what to do next. That's probably the most common thing. Like when I used to do private readings, which I don't anymore, but when I used to do that, a lot of times people would be trying to figure out what's their calling, what's their purpose, what's their focus. And it's a great question because the sooner you can get aligned to that, the sooner things start to fall together. But I think a lot of us just sort of stay put because we don't know what to do. So give yourself time to explore, to have fun, to dream like you did when you were a kid. And if you didn't get a chance to do it then, give yourself a chance to do it now. Because change is happening, folks. And when we look at the cards here in a few minutes, we'll figure out how and where, but I definitely got the energy of change for you. This is a chance for you to work smarter and to delegate. So ancient Greeks, I was looking at all the different cultures. Romans use it to clean, Egyptians use it for mummification, and lavender in Greece was used for insomnia and to ease back pain. The one card, there's a couple cards that I would associate with back pain in tarot. It would be the 10 of Wands and the 10 of Swords. We're going to go with 10 of Wands because there's more power that you can kind of access with this card as we're looking at it. Working smarter is the key thing, and delegating is the key thing. And for those of you that are very close to finishing a task at hand, it's interesting that sometimes just rest will be all you need to finish that final leg of the journey. So I was going to put 2 and 1 on this, but I just stuck with the 10 of Wands. 4 of Swords would have been the other one. Get some sleep and then push through to the end. But don't push through without any rest or without any consideration for your body. Your body has limits. Your mind has limits as well. Honor those limits. Delegate as needed. Don't give up because you're very close, but don't push yourself too far. And simply say no if you need to or ask for help. Go your own way on your own path in your own direction. It's the hardest thing to do, honestly, sometimes because peer pressure, sometimes you just like the people that you're with and you have this sort of like chosen family and you think to yourself, but I'm going to miss these people. Yes, but you never know who is going to be on the horizon. Some of you may just need a little bit of time and space. So the 8 of Cups is the perfect card for those of you that are on the edge thinking, should I stay, should I go, or how do I get to that next thing? You need a break. You need a holiday, you need a vacation, you need a chance to just sort of like reset. And you can always come back with the 8 of Cups. You can also choose to just move forward with a permanently open door where you can always reconnect, but just give yourself space to dream and explore and see what's possible. Staying could call in a tower-like energy, which is basically the universe saying, I know that you've stayed too long. I want you to move, but if you don't move, then I'll make you move. And that could be for some of you like in a job. There could be, the owner decides to sell the business, or there's a downsizing or a merger, or there's a new boss and you just don't like them. I actually saw something similar in dreams last night. I see a change, because I don't work in a corporate environment, but I saw a boss and I was like part of a team, and I said to all of you, give him a chance. It looked like it was a male boss, but so some of you may be experiencing a new boss. But that could also be something where you didn't feel like you wanted to stay. That's what I was getting from the pep talk that I was trying to give you. So if you need to leave, leave. You'll be okay. Because I see the change happening. We have the Tower card here, and I also had a dream of, and it's nothing to worry about. Just like cards, I get metaphors in my dreams, but I saw something crashing and burning, which is the Tower. So if you saw yourself, if you are in the throes of the Tower, what I saw for you is that there were 2 or 3 people around you to help you clean up the mess, okay? So you're in good company, but when you're in the moment of thinking, now I know I should have done it, I want to save you from the I should have, I could have. You can right now make the change that you want. I'm telling you, it's going to be better than waiting for a Tower moment. You can recover from a Tower pretty well. I just went through a Tower. Many of you know that watch the channel. I was living in a place where there was just constant construction. And I had outgrown it, but the universe was pushing me, and it got increasingly louder to the point that they were tearing down the ceiling outside my apartment. On all 4 levels of the apartment, and there was dust everywhere, and construction's a part of living in apartments, but this was massive, like every wall, every floor. And I knew that I wanted to move a year ago. There was always excuses because I'm busy working, and I was worried about how am I going to make this move and everything. So I was pushed. I was able to find a really great place, but it was stressful. It was more stressful than I wanted it to be. But all of that being said, I also think the universe conspired to help me find the best possible place that I could have. So if you're in the Tower, don't panic. You could actually end up in an okay space. You're just going to have to act very quickly, not lose your cool, and at that point, you're just going to have to trust yourself. So if you're in the throes of it, you're going to be fine, but I'd like you to be ahead of the Tower if possible, okay? I never panic when I see something like this. It's just, this is an indication that now, if you're not happy now, make the change now, because it's probably going to get more complicated in the long run, okay? If you're just after it, let's say for some of you, you're ahead of it. Some of you are going through it. Some of you have just gone through a major change. Let the dust settle. It takes time to get used to something new. Moving in with someone, losing someone that you love if they've died and they're passed into spirit now, physical moves like I've done, graduation, any number of life changes. Just because one day one thing was one way and then the next day it's another, just because you have a new set of keys, it doesn't mean that everything's shifted. It takes several weeks, so several months too. And for those of you that might be mourning someone, it could take a year or more. So give yourself the time that you need to make the adjustment. You'll be fine. That's the ultimate piece. You'll be fine, but we are embracing change and we're not ignoring change. How can we make the most of something? Invest in tomorrow today. And I'm not talking financial, though, for those of you that want to do that, that's fine. What I'm talking about is that your present situation is the aggregate result of many, many months and years of dominoes lining up. So what's happened has happened, but now you get to decide, you can set a marker in the future and create the dominoes coming towards you now. And as you start to invest more and more, that comes closer and closer, and the past gets further and further away. You are an active creator. Today is a day to do something that tomorrow could grow into something beautiful, to the 9 of Pentacles, right? So this one ace can go so far. Do something cool for tomorrow, for yourself. But make it the decision today. Reach out to someone, talk to someone, send out a resume, whatever it's going to be. Plant the seed, don't delay. And that's how it's going to happen, okay? So exciting stuff. It's all about change. Don't worry. We're going to look at all of the opportunities in front of you here as I look at the cards here. All right, welcome everybody. Let's see which deck of cards you've chosen for me today. There's a poll up right now, so cool. We're using one that's kind of, I don't know if it's out of print, but it's a rarer deck. I have it over to the side, so let me grab it. Glastonbury Tarot. So this is cool. I think I had to go on eBay or something to find it because it's not readily available. And there was like an estate sale from a collector, and this hadn't been used. It's a really beautiful deck, so thank you for choosing that for me today. I finally got all of my cards to the side here, and got my monitor set up and everything on the side so I can see stuff. And that's also cut down on the reverberation. So as I start to fill out the room with my equipment and everything, the sound quality will get better, as you can already hear today. So thank you for your patience on that. That's another part of the dust settling, right? Okay, so let's get started, everyone. Let me give the cards a good shuffle, and we'll begin. All right, so we are looking at the Celtic Cross today, here, now, and the Celtic Cross will take us through the next 6 to 8 weeks. So let's see what is going on here. And as I was saying, I do have daily readings now on my main channel, so take a look at that. I posted on the community tab, and I'll be starting some middle and shorter length videos as well. So lots of changes coming to this channel, all for the best. I've been inspired by the new space. Yeah, and things will get better. I'm going to add a plant over here and some other stuff, but I have a ton of, all my cards here are absorbing some of the sound because I have a little shelf that I've set up, so it'll get better. People were telling me, hang drapes and put rugs in. I'm like, no, guys. I don't need to like soak it in that way. I'm going to put some stuff behind me because it's actually what I'm talking to that's causing the reverberation. We want to keep the room open energetically. Another example of sometimes people just feel like they need to spout out on things. Maybe it's what you're wearing, maybe it's what you're doing, and just give yourself a chance to get settled. That last piece where I was talking about, second to last slide, letting the dust settle is so important because you don't know what you want until you've had a chance to sort of like connect with the space, right, in your life. It could be a relationship, it could be a house, it could just be something new that you're exploring. Don't rush. There's always time to fill things later. It's harder to clean up messes or take things away, right? I love this deck, but almost always we get 2 cards stuck. Let's zoom out just a bit so you can see a little bit more. There we go. Better. Yeah, I love the windows too. There's that was something I was looking for in this new space. 2 apartments ago, I had some decent windows, but this one, they're everywhere. It's amazing what light, space, and openness does for your energy. Like, I was very, very tired at the old place, and I'm much more recharged here. You can't underestimate the importance of... You've got some beautiful cards here. Are you seeing this? We've got the moth, we have the egg, and we have the bridge. But yeah, you can't underestimate the importance of environment, whether it's a place that you're working or a place that you're living, or the company that you're keeping in your life. Thank you so much for all the super stickers. I am on a little bit of a shopping spree for some new cards, which I'll be hopefully debuting soon here, but I waited until I got settled to get them, so more to come. And I am trying to dig out some older decks like today's now I can see them better, and I can kind of go through and look at some of the old ones. So again, all is well. All right, let's get started, folks. Let's begin with your catalyst cards. So we have 2 here. We're going to start with the first one, and we have the castle. It's kind of interesting that we see the pearls around this castle. Pearls are actually associated with royalty. I think of the queen when I see these. But castle to me can be, I always think of that old Stinger Police song where you're building like a fortress around your heart, right? Sometimes we build up something big to protect ourselves, to feel safe. And one of the and when I think of like the tower card that I was featuring in the channel messages, sometimes we have to break down what we've created too. So don't be afraid to change it up a little bit, to break through a figurative wall in your life, because even though you've gotten to this point, that doesn't mean that you're stuck there, right? So that's one of the things that I'm getting with this, is that we can be so good at creating that it's like we've painted ourselves in a corner. So you're never too old to break out and try something different. For some of you, it's also just saying, hey, take a moment and enjoy this beautiful environment that you've created for yourself, okay? So either way, you can constantly add on, but you've also done a great job of building things in your life so far. Your home is your castle, your home is your fortress. And again, just having shifted from a very negative and very kind of crazy place to a much brighter one, if you take time to improve your environment, your energy improves as well. You don't have to move to make it happen. You can put on a fresh coat of paint in your house. You can clean up some old stuff. You can donate it to a charitable cause. You can do a lot to kind of like just clear the energy. But when we're looking at things like I said, a work environment, a relationship, or the physical house that you're living in, it's the energy that's closest to you. You want it to have a firm foundation. If it doesn't, then this is the month that things are going to start to shift there. All right, and now we have what I was talking about. It's reversed, but that's okay. It's basically the answer to the Fool here. Yes, there are some things that are unseen. There are some things that are unknown. But you have enough of an intuitive gift that you're going to be able to sort it out and see the pattern. I love that we see this sort of like dot-like thing. The further back you get, the more you see it. When you're in the throes of change, it's sometimes a little bit tough, so you have to pull yourself back, like the Eight of Cups that I was talking about. The further we go back, you can't even tell that it's made up of dots. So I think some of you are just too much in the thick of things, and that's why I was in channeled messages saying, like, take a sabbatical, take a vacation or a holiday or a leave, and that's going to help you see the pattern. The pattern's already been laid out for you, okay? Let's go ahead now and take a look at the cards here. You have a lovely card at the center. This is an Arthurian sort of deck, by the way, like King Arthur. So you actually got the king at the center here. We have the Emperor card, Arthur himself, and also a great example of someone who's inspirational, good leadership. And so for many of you, you're being offered this opportunity to step into something new that you're going to say, hey, I want it this way. I want, you're going to be more decisive. Today's card that I was pulling for, single card pulls for the shorts was actually justice. And I was talking about sometimes it's so much easier to just let someone else make the call, because then if something isn't going right, you can point a finger, the accountability, the spotlight's on them. You're getting the leadership card that I was talking about. So it's saying, yeah, that's easier, but it's also not very empowering, and you're also beholden to their whims, right? You have to sort of deal with what they want, when they want, how they want. And so this is a chance for you to speak up. And even if you don't have the title of boss, there are points in your life and opportunities when you can raise your hand and say, no, we shouldn't do this, or this is the right path. You have to fight for what's right. And we're getting that sort of accountability and ownership straight in the center here. If you're thinking of starting your own business, if you're wanting to expand your education, or even try to make a step up in your career, the Emperor card is fantastic for that. We have right on top of it the Queen of Wands, which is also a really powerful boss card. She's one of my favorite in the court cards. I'm sure many of you that watch, you know that, because she carries with her this sort of magical ability to make anything work. We see the rainbow here in this one, in this particular deck, and it's such beautiful golden color here. So both of these cards, gold in tarot is typically a very good color. It's showing strength and power. So you have more strength and power than you might be giving yourself credit for. There could be a divine partnership, by the way, on its way to you, because we have a king and a queen here, right? And I don't really read gender. I just see a nice match. I actually see king and queen as even, because it's just showing a partnership. I love it if I can get a king and a king, or a queen and a queen, because it's absolutely evenly energetically matched. But a king and a queen is also even, because that's what a partnership would look like. What we're seeing here, though, is a headstrong partner en route to you. So for some of you, you've been waiting to find maybe a business partner, a lover, a good friend in your life. And I'm getting a bossy energy. They really know what they want, and they're going to be able to sort of lay it out in front of you, say, this is what I'm, but they're looking for someone who's also strong and confident. So I believe that like energy attracts like energy. So what you can work on yourself right now is the Emperor card, which is, I trust my instincts. I'm willing to say what's on my mind. I'm willing to stand up for what matters, even if there's pushback or even if there is someone who might fall away. You have a lot of options, by the way. We got the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, and the Queen of Wands. So this is a great time for loves, and we actually have the Four of Wands here, my friends, and then the Three of Cups. This is love. I could not create more of a love spread if I tried. So the Three of Cups is about exploring options. Your options are coming through here, at least 3 different opportunities, 3 different people, 3 different forks in the road. And then we have the friendship that I saw even in the midst of the change. I said, yeah, it may feel like you're crashing and burning, but I told you had a couple people around you, 2 or 3 people around you. So we totally see it here. This is so exciting for you, Scorpio, this month. So much kind of energy associated with people and relationships. And again, as someone who doesn't focus on relationships in his readings, when I see it, it's fun, and we're going to definitely embrace it and see what we can do with this, okay? All right. So let's look at the deep past. Many of you have just kind of made the decision, I'm ready for more. The Three of Cups is an opening in heart and in mind. And it can be a lot of fun. It can be playful energy. First of all, it can be the energy of a party or a celebration. It can be a decision that you want to hang out with friends. It can also be for those of you that may have been separated or widowed or just single for a long time. Suddenly there's this new awakening that you want to engage with people, whether it's love or friendship or a little bit of both. We're definitely seeing the door open when it comes to that energy of people in your life. So yeah, love with a capital L coming through for you guys. What we're looking at in the recent past is you finally realize it's okay, I matter, I count. All of these Queen cards also have to do with you, so I'm going to break down what it is to do with you, and then we'll talk about the Queen separately. So the Queen of Pentacles for you is saying, I've spent a lot of time helping someone or some other people in my life, especially if you're in a career where it's your job to support folks. So maybe administrative assistants, secretarial kind of energy, those that are teaching, those that are in doctor and nursing practices, therapists, those of you that may literally build things for people, construction, you're doing something for others, but that energy of doing for others is sometimes it puts you at a deficit. So you're going to decide right now that I don't have to give up helping others, but I'm not going to do it at the cost or the expense of myself. I need to take care of myself. I need certain things, and I also want a few things too. So I'm going to find a way to make a balance happen, and I'm going to love and nurture myself like the universal mother that the Queen of Pentacles is. Okay? So it's time to give back to yourself, and that's the lesson you've learned, and you're still integrating towards the beginning of the next 6 to 8 weeks, definitely as you get into September. All right, looking at the crowning card. Interestingly enough and appropriately enough, when you start to take care of yourself, when you start to demand a little bit more, then people see you as someone that commands attention. And that's really what we get with the Emperor card. So opening yourself up to love, but asking for what you need and knowing that it's not all about everyone else. You count too. It actually creates the stronger leader that we see with the Queen of Wands, and then people want to hang out around you. Who doesn't like someone, popular and powerful and influential people, they have a gravity towards them, a gravitas, that pulls you in. And so, yeah, you can't help but pay attention to them. So people are starting to see you in a different light because you're starting to see yourself as someone who has more power, more energy, more impact. And it's a really beautiful card. If we look at it in the upright position, we see the partner carrying the other partner. And some of you are still working on letting someone else carry the weight for you. You're so used to being the one that carries others. You may be very type A in your business or work or school, and you just are always the one that kind of like pulls it all together, right? And that's why we have all this boss energy at the center. Let someone else help out. Let someone else carry the load for a little bit so you can rest, so you can regroup, so that you can see like the bigger picture. Now we have the Queen of Cups, and ultimately in your heart and in your love, this is just saying, finally, I'm ready to receive. She's upright. There's no modifications or notes that we need to give on this. So your receptive energy is off the charts, off the hook right now. It doesn't have to just be love. You are opening up to, I always like to say, love and abundance in the highest forms. So abundance can be work, money, friends, opportunity, good surprises that you can't even anticipate. And so stay open. These are both open cards, open to receive and mingle, open to see where that may lead. So say yes to invitations, hang out more with people, invite people into your energy and your space. Great time to have a party. Good things will come right now if you open up. And the interesting thing is, again, I'll have to find that song and I'll post it maybe on Twitter later or on one of my stories. But that song about building that fortress around your heart, it's hard to tear it down. So drain the moats, put the drawbridge down, and let some people in the castle. It's time to open up, okay? Here's how you're showing up. We have all this power, literally kings and queens galore, popular energy here with people wanting to connect here in the deep past and the crowning spot. And now you're coming through just a little shyer and a little less bold here with the Knight of Wands. I do like knights, however, because they move things forward. So you're moving in the right direction, but your potential is one, as the card flips out of the deck, is basically to go one step up. You're really the Queen of Wands, not the Knight, but it's all about a change in how you see yourself, a change in focus. And that's going to be your biggest challenge is, I see this for myself, or I think this is possible, or yeah, I could see that happening. And as long as you can see that, then it can be. So a change in perspective. Knights also move, and so one of the challenges for some of you is stagnation, staying in the same place longer than you need to. And again, we're all guilty of it sometime, but the universe can and it will push you when it needs to. So I would advise you to, wherever you want to go, wherever you see the opportunity opening up, now's a great time to do it, and do it on your own volition. Always so much more powerful to do something in your own time, in your own way. And that's the big message when I'm looking at the Knight of Wands. All right, this is what's going on in the environment. So we're looking at this card in this position here. So we have a reversed Five of Cups, and it's actually beneficial when this card is reversed because her focus is going towards the 2 cups on the hill, not the 3 cups that have fallen. And it is all about love and partnership and opportunity. So surprise, surprise, not really. We have another card of love here. And not many people would see Five of Cups as this, but look at the caption here. It actually says progression. So what I would say here is you are making progress. You are going in the right direction. There's nothing wrong with reflecting upon the twists and turns in the journey. And they're not all fun, right? They're not all easy. In fact, many of them can be emotionally tumultuous. But they do build a stronger foundation. They are building the castle for tomorrow. And so nothing has been accidental, nothing has been lost. So let me give you a gift right now. If you're sitting here and sort of like beating yourself up and thinking, I wasted this amount of time, this amount of effort, look at my friend, look at my, whoever in your life matters most, and you're thinking, that could be me. Well, it still can be. There's someone here, there's something here as well that is calling to you. Focus on what you can do and will do rather than what you have done. And that was the Ace card that I was talking about in the channeled messages, the Ace of Pentacles. I'm investing in tomorrow. And I'm embracing today because today is when I make the energy of tomorrow happen. Tomorrow's going to be brighter. Tomorrow's going to be better. Today was the best I could do. And I'm going to do even better tomorrow. That's all we can keep doing day to day. Some days are better than others. It's a batting average, not about every single day being, 10 stars. So some days are 3 out of 10, but you're going to shift your perspective. And we see that there could be someone that is trying to get your interest, hail your interest. 2 of Cups can be someone flirting, offering, trying to engage with you. But if you're focusing on other things or in your head, you're thinking, I'm not worth it or it's not going to happen, then it doesn't happen. Okay? So you're going to change perspective and you're going to go from the Knight of Wands to the Queen of Wands. As we look at hopes, fears, and opportunities, now we have the page, the Page of Wands. So I love this deck, but I have to translate all the different things in my head when I'm looking at it. So the card was reversed here, so this is just about keeping an open mind. I like that we see this page kind of, like when they're kind of dancing with the flags, trying to get someone's attention. Here's what I would say. Don't try so hard. If someone in your life is not receptive to the message or is not tuning in, they may be actually the Five of Cups. They are just not ready. And you're going to look for someone who's in a like energy, someone who's ready. We don't want to force. You don't need to force any sort of opportunity to happen. Someone else or something else will be interested. Another door will open up. So don't try too hard to get someone's attention. If they're not looking, that's the universe's way of saying, not them, not now. Keep engaging, or they're not ready for you yet. So if this was a love reading and someone was asking me, or even just a job, sort of career reading, and they were saying, I keep trying to get this person's attention. So maybe, again, it's a potential employer, or it's a lover, or it's a friend, and you're trying to get them to call you back or pay attention. But if they're not, that in and of itself is communication. That is saying they are not invested, they are not engaged, they are not prepared. You can do better. And at a certain point, accept it, because if you have to fight it, you could be putting an extraordinary amount of energy into trying to change or mold them when you could just find something that is already ready for you. Okay? It's like a key. You can't, if you push it harder in the slot, it's not going to open the door. It's just going to break the lock. So find a key and a door that fits, and that door is the one that you're going to open, not the one that's not working or that is kind of broken already. There's a better fit for you is what I'm getting. When we go to your outcome, now we have the King of Pentacles. And this could also be the partner that you've been looking for. This is someone, you're taking care of yourself. This is someone who takes care of themselves. This is someone that's good in business and just good in general at nurturing and creating things. This is also someone that can do all of that and more. So I see many of you pulling in your ideal partner, but there's a lot that you're going through. There's a lot of situations. There could be a lot of different people that you have to meet en route to this one. Okay? So it is a happy ending, and it is a happy story for those seeking love or seeking a job or an opportunity, because King of Pentacles is that. The key message here for you is don't try too hard. And if someone doesn't take the hint or the cue, someone else will. And so you're looking for the right door, the right lock that fits your key to kind of make everything work. And it will. It's just a matter of timing and trust in yourself and getting the big picture, okay? It's not just love. Again, this can be opportunity, because Pentacles is resources. So for those of you trying to open up an opportunity, it will definitely come through, okay? So for someone that, I don't normally, I'm looking at chat here. If you fixate solely on one person or opportunity, you don't know that there might actually be something better. Fun fact, before I got this place, I put in applications for, it was 2 other apartments, and they both fell through, and I was sad, but they were not the best. And this was the best at the time, and the universe kept rejecting options for me until I found this one. So you may think that you found the perfect space or the perfect person or the perfect job, but there could be something even better for you. So I'm just throwing it out there. Look and see. It's a big world. There's a lot of people, literally billions of people in this world. And there's a lot of doors and a lot of places to work and to live and a lot of paths that you can go down. So one may seem like it's ideal, but I'm telling you, there are other options out there. So explore it. Because if you fixate and think it's the best or the only, then it's basically what I'm reading here. Then you're missing what's on the hill up there, that there's something better. Okay? So that will help you just a little bit, but I'm not, it's okay to be frustrated. We've all been there. It's okay to be disappointed. But don't give up. Look for something else. When I was in the throes of the tower, I had to keep looking for opportunities. And ultimately, I had to do it myself. I was working with a realtor to try to find apartments, because this is a competitive market in LA. It's kind of like New York, and everything was going fast. Ultimately, I found this on my own, but I was working with others and on my own to kind of double the options. So just keep looking, keep exploring, and you never know what's possible, okay? Cool. Also, just one interesting energy when it comes to manifesting. When you can detach a little bit and not care so much, it comes to you. So if someone isn't answering your call, again, in any way, whether it's work or love or friend, think to yourself, this is a good, just think to yourself, I could do better than this. This isn't the best. I deserve more, and I'm putting a lot into this. And even if they're going through a lot, this isn't the best treatment. I'm going to start to put my energy into other people and other things because I can do better. I'm ready to move on. I want this to work, but I'm not going to get my heart broken if this person isn't there for me. Start to open yourself up. They'll feel that you're pulling away, and then they'll call, and then they'll check in. They need to feel that you're actually, but the only way to do it is to actually call your own bluff and start to move in another direction. And then doors will start to open and you won't care as much, and then it's going to be a healthier relationship. We can't put all of our eggs in one basket, okay? I read differently on this channel. It's not just about getting someone's attention. It's about focusing on yourself so you don't need their attention, and so that their lack of focus is actually a message that there's something better, that they're not ready. They're not ready. They're not equal. And again, whether it's a boss or a friend or a lover, it doesn't matter. It's people. We're looking at people this month. There's someone that's more compatible or more open to your energy. Do yourself a credit and connect with them instead. All right. Now let's move on to the expanded forecast. If you're new, let me just talk about the expanded forecast. It's going to be health, wealth, love, and destiny. We're going to start with health first. Health is going to be looking at healthy decisions. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. If you need either of those two in your life, feel free to reach out to them. I'm going to help show you some energetic opportunities in front of you that hopefully will lead you down a healthy path. All right, with that being said, we'll start with the health card, and we have the moth spirit, which is beautiful. I love moths. I love hummingbirds, caterpillars, anything that shows like movement, and especially with moths and butterflies, transformation. So what we've got on this one is what I've been kind of tapping on the whole time here, which is surrender. Surrender to the inevitable, which is change, movement and change. So the caterpillar may think that it is all that it is, but in fact it is not. There is that last phase of the journey, which is the moth. By the way, moths are thought to be the ancestors for butterflies too. So even moths in and of themselves weren't the end of the evolutionary cycle. Some of the moths discovered, oh, if I stick around until the morning, there's some new flowers that open, and they started to evolve to daytime insects as well. So this is, to me, I did a moth as a totem earlier this month. This is one of the best possible energies you can get because it's ancient. It's been around for a long time, and it continues to develop. And it's also, there are more moths than there are butterflies. We just don't see them because we're sleeping half the time. So it is abundant, it is resilient, it is adaptive, and it's also very sensitive. They can hear and smell very well. So listen to what's going on because you may pick up on something that someone's saying. Listen to your heart, to your intuition, and then spread your wings. Go into that next phase. This is not the biggest and the best portion of your life, your career, etc. You've got that big final act that's on the horizon that's going to be really exciting. So you're in the caterpillar stage heading towards the moth stage, or the cocoon has to happen first. The cocoon will be this unseen phase because when you're in the cocoon, you can't see what's coming next. So I think many of you are just needing that little push to break free from the cocoon of safety, okay? Let's look at the cards and see specifically some messages around health. Don't be afraid to take care of yourself. The clearest and also the hardest message for most of us to embrace. It's hard to ask for things. It's hard to say no. It's hard when it comes to kind of like advocating for what you need. You have a lot of support if you want to tap into it. And if it's not people in your life, then it's resources around you, because this is resources and resources connected to people. So I see a support system there. It just may take picking up the phone or going online to see what's going on and connecting, because it's there. We got so many people this month. If they're not there yet, you can find them. And I can say that with a decent degree of certainty based on what I'm looking at here. Let me see what else is coming through here. With all the queen energy, I would say this is a really good time for those of you that are trying to conceive. I couldn't get more fertility here if I tried. If you're not trying to conceive, be careful. But for everyone else, this is really cool. So if you've been, and by the way, you could have multiple births there, so it could be twins or triplets. So I definitely get strong energy of fertility. For everyone else, those of you that are male, for instance, or identify as male and not looking to have children, this is just fertility is also abundance. So this is telling me that opportunities are multiplex, that friendships and people in your life are also in that sort of multiple energy, and you're not limited to one, which is also why when I saw someone fixated on one person, I'm like, there are so many people coming in this month. Don't close the door. That person doesn't deserve as much energy as you're giving them. I see at least 2 others that could be open. We'll talk about love in a moment or two here, but first things, let's look at health here. You could be moving a little bit more. These are all regal cards, but they're all stationary. So the energy of the Fool that I pulled in way back at the beginning in the channel messages absolutely is a part of this as well. So get yourself out there. Again, walking, swimming, gentle energy, work with your doctor to get approval on that, but something that helps you move would be good. Otherwise, you're in a pretty good space, folks. I like what I'm seeing here, honestly. The only thing that I see with the King and the Queen of Pentacles is that they are not cards that are renowned for their ability to say no. Self-indulgence is a piece of those, so try not to overindulge in food, drink, partying, etc. Everything in moderation. So I think as long as that's part of it, that you'll be okay. There could be something in your body that's trying to get your attention as well. Pay attention to that. But otherwise, these are all pretty good cards. And there's nothing here that I'm focusing on that is giving me cause for concern. So I actually feel like the big opportunity for you this month is opening your heart, opening your mind, and opening up. And that's hard sometimes because it requires an emotional and a mental shift. And that's where maybe you do need to work with a therapist or talk to a friend and sort of, deal with the uncertainty and the ambiguity that might be coming through, because the unseen card was one of the first things that we pulled in. Okay? Let's move on to the next piece here. We're going to go to wealth, and I love that we've got a golden egg for you. That, my friends, is that Ace of Pentacles that I was pushing you to look at a little bit earlier, and I'll pull that card up at the very end just so we can revisit it. So here we go. So this was reminding you that today is the day that you impact your potential future for tomorrow. So investing in today, eggs and seeds and pentacles, they're all the same. It's something that hasn't yet manifested, but it's coming in. So in this card, we see the spiritual hand from Rider-Waite-Smith offering something, representing God in the universe. And we see now we can actually discern that the pentacle would be in reverse. So that could mean that there's an incoming opportunity that you didn't see for yourself. Someone comes in and they say, hey, I know that you wanted this, but have you thought about this? I think it's a better match for you, particularly in a career. So someone is encouraging you to try something else. Maybe if you are talking to, this could be those of you that are looking at colleges right now even, and it's a guidance counselor or a mentor, and they're saying, I know you think you want to do this, but you should maybe try this internship or look at this program or visit this school. Take that leap of faith with them and see where it may lead, because there's another door that's opening up that's unexpected. It could be an offer, an invitation that you didn't expect as well. It could be someone asking you out, and you're thinking to yourself, me? Yes, you. Yes, you're the right match. Yeah, no, they're not out of your league. Yes, this is okay. Now, if someone is giving you something that you don't want or pushing you down a path that you absolutely don't want, this is where I said earlier, you can go your own way and say, thanks for the idea. I'll keep it to the side and consider it, but right now I'm going to focus on this. So be open, but be willing to stand your ground if it's pushy. Again, the same way I was saying, you don't want to push too much to get someone else's attention or to be in their space or energy too much. If someone is doing that to you, it's also off-putting, and it's a sign that it's not the right person, connection, or time just yet. This could also be an egg that needs your love and support. So eggs need warmth, they need love, they need to be fertilized. So there's something in your life where there's potential, but it requires the nurturing energy. You can do it because if we look at these two cards here, it's almost as if they're holding that Ace of Pentacles or that golden egg. And interestingly enough, we actually see it in the belly here of the king here. So yes, you just have to own it. Whatever you're doing, own it. Put it in your heart and soul, bring that energy of power and birthing into it. And we saw both the divine masculine and feminine as being able to carry and deliver. In fact, the male energy was the one that was kind of carrying that energy. So I like it when there's a little bit of a flip on this. So anyway, opportunity abounds. And it could be more than one opportunity. Find the golden egg that fits your sort of space best. If you're looking for a new job, you might just be looking in the wrong space. Look in a different direction. That's what I do get a directional shift for many of you. Boss energy. Okay, so for those of you that are working, there are too many cooks in the kitchen, too many bosses, too many people trying to, maybe the boss is not a good leader and there's just a lot of people trying to step into that energy. So I see some leadership challenges for existing jobs. For those of you that are looking to get out there, there's competition and a lot of like-minded and like energy competition. The key for those of you that are seeking a job or trying to get someone to commit, it's about the relationship that you build. So it's how much they vibe with you that matters, because everyone else is kind of equally qualified. And I saw a very similar energy for another sign that I read in the past week or so. So it's the relationship, it's the rapport, it's the smile that is going to get you to the next level. Let me see what else we're looking at. I do see a better option on the horizon if you don't like where you're at. I do think that you have a potential to go up one level when it comes to your title or your pay, because you might be underestimating your potential, or someone else is underestimating it, and I see that you can find that somewhere else if you want to, okay? So there we go. Interesting stuff there. I would say one last thing here. Many of you are just being called to do what I did, which is to be your own boss. And it takes time to get comfortable. I was thinking a fun video that I might do somewhere down the line when I hit maybe the next big milestone is take a look at like one of the first videos that I did because I had just come out of a corporate environment and I was like, my voice was quiet and I was shyer and presentation was not as professional and everything because you don't know who you are yet. So some of you may just be stepping into the emperor's new clothes. You're just deciding like, can I do this? Am I going to be okay? You'll be fine. It takes time to grow into the person that you can be. The cards here see the potential, but I am getting that little bit of doubt here, like, can I do this? You can totally do it, okay? So I think those are the main points for today. Let's move now to love and relationships. So we have the bridge here for love and relationships. Such an exciting card here. It says, expand your consciousness to behold both worlds. So a few things here. Some of you, like me, may have this year lost someone, and this is basically showing that they are with you. Be the bridge shows me that in spirit they're helping you, they're guiding you. You may not always see or feel them, but they are there. So that's cool. For many of you, this is also that you are a disruptor, to use an old corporate term. You're out there to make change. So I was picking up on all of these change cards earlier when I was channeling. So I had like Death and the Tower and all of these and the Fool, which are all movement cards. That may be because some of you don't like the status quo. And so you're a change maker. There's a little bit of overflow here with work. But the type of person that you're going to pull in your life is someone that's comfortable with that ability to go with the flow. And being the bridge. Okay, so this person, for some of you that, and again, I read the love energy here as anyone that could be coming in that's going to open your heart or open your horizon. So it could be romantic, it could just be platonic. But this person that's connected with love, they are not a duplicate of you. Be the bridge. There is going to be some initial barriers. It could be someone from a different culture, different background. They could speak a different language. They may just have a very different upbringing than you, but there's a nice complement of energies that you're both bringing to the table. Once you realize and recognize the king and queens that you are, then you decide, okay, this is how we're going to make this work. Back in ancient times, kings and queens were often, it wasn't like a marriage of love. It was because two kingdoms needed to make peace. So some of you may be thrown into this sort of situation where there's a necessary partnership to create some peace, and you're going to figure out how to blend the energies, not changing, not losing yourself or anything, but it is a blending, and it's going to be about bringing two groups together. So even before looking at relationships, there could be some challenges. And even for those of you that might be going into a new relationship, could be the in-laws. It's going to be difficult to get these very different. You two may be perfectly aligned, but the extended family is very different. And it's sort of like how and when to mix and match. And that could be the challenge. All right, let's break it down into three different parts. Those that are in a relationship, those that are looking for a relationship, and those that are single and happy. Focusing on those that are in relationships. Kind of interesting. I could be reading for people that are in open relationships, because 3 of Cups and 3 people, and then the 4 of Wands. So there's polyamorous energy here. That could be a part of this. But for the rest of you, I'm seeing a lot of family and a lot of people around you. So the challenge in a platonic, happy, monogamous relationship is going to be how to not be bothered by all of this sort of external energy. And at the core of it will be that you love each other. And sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. Sometimes you're holding that person up, sometimes they're holding you up. But it comes into that energy of, at the end of the day, it's your home, it's your space, and that person is going to love you for you. And you're going to deal with each day and each challenge when it comes to friends and family as it will come. Because that's just external projections. A lot of times it's because of jealousy or control or misunderstanding or questions. And again, it's their energy that they're bringing in. So the biggest challenge for happy couples this month is to not let external parties get in the way. And again, it could be family, friends, or just the public at large. For those of you that have been in a relationship for a long time, there could be a bigger question of, how did I end up here? And is this the person that I want to be with? The interesting thing is we do see partnership at the end. The King and the Queen of Pentacles are a match. But there is some questions that are popping up. And again, you could be looking at other people in your life. It could be friends, because the 2 queens here could be girlfriends or boyfriends in your life that you're looking at and you're thinking, why are they doing this and I'm not? Again, the comparison energy. So if you're happy with who you're at with and where you're at, like, let it be. But I definitely get the biggest challenge for relationships this month is other people. And then how you're interacting with your person, and then why all these other people are kind of present. So figure out how to protect and to nurture the togetherness, the intimacy, and your business is your business. And I think that's the best piece of advice that I could give you on that. Let me see if there's anything else, just generally looking at the relationship. The other partner may be trying to get your attention. You may be in a space, or they may be in a space, where something's shifting the focus to trial, tribulation, disappointment. But again, they're kind of up here saying, hey, but what about me and what about us? So I think that's the key thing here, is you have support, you have each other. Really lean into that. And I think you can get through any challenge that comes your way for the most part here. But there's a lot of people, coming in here. You are the one that gets to call the shots and say yes or no. Or remember, like, we have the King at the center here. So it's your house, it's your relationship, it's your life. That old Bon Jovi song came into my life. You get to just do what you want to do, okay? No one else tells you what you need to do or who you need to be. All right. Let me see. Now we'll focus on those of you that are trying to bring love into your life. You have so many options. We've got, now let's talk about the personality types of these different people. So the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, she's coming from the past. This is someone who needs a lot and who may be a lot better at receiving than giving energy. So this may be the person to kind of let go. But you may have a hard kind of pull on this one. But that's the thing that needs to be shifted. Both of you need to be strong enough and be willing to give and take. If you can give and take, that's the key. I really would like to see each one of these 3 in the upright position, because the Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, and then the 4 of Wands in the upright, that'd be a really powerful relationship. But in the reverse, it means that both party needs a lot. And so you have this tug of war. The energy that's presenting itself right now is a very strong, very bossy person, but a lot more open than this. And I think this person gives a little bit more. There's definitely a stronger sexual or chemistry sort of energy with this person. So there's someone here that the attraction's off the charts. You may not talk a lot, but there's a very strong attraction. Queen of Cups, this is a very good energy. Loving, nurturing, communicative, someone that does want to settle down a little bit more. This person may want to settle down, but it could be pointed more on like biological clock sort of stuff, like, or pressure to get married and have children, where this one's just ready to kind of like settle down. The one in the middle is just loving you for you, and it's not about sort of priorities or needing to start something. It's just like celebrating each other. So you have interesting and great choices. I'm very drawn to these two because there's great chemistry here, and that's something that you can't fake. And there's a very loving, nurturing, accepting, and welcoming energy here. The outcome is really you feeling at home. So I'm going to read that as you. But these three offer different opportunities for those of you looking. I think it should start with friendship first and foremost. If you've been looking, like for those of you that have been waiting and thinking, will I ever find someone? Can I ever get married? Release that thought. It's no longer suiting you. You're very much open and attracting a lot of opportunities, including those that could be long-term. Not each of these is long-term. Like I said, this may be a little bit more sort of like, I need to get to know you. This is the Three of Cups coming in and saying, let's date, let's get to know each other, let's have fun, let's explore the world a little bit. This is much more settled down. This one's focused on themselves a little bit, so be careful there. So I see one that's ready to focus and one that just wants to date and get to know you. And again, I think let the past be in the past, because there's some newer energies coming in that seem more inviting. All right, now for those of you that are single and happy, a new job could be on the horizon. It's a great time for you to explore your passions. Your creative energy's off the hook and other people are interested in that. Don't force doors to open. They'll naturally open, and there's enough energy and opportunities here that you don't need to do that. And you should feel free to be the one that initiates. The Knight of, and this is true for everyone, the Knight of Wands doesn't have to ask, but they can just sort of like put the hand out there and say, do you want to dance? Do you want to do this? So show it, say it if you want to, but it is about taking that first step. Okay? All right. Let's take a look now at your destiny card. We have yin, yang, lover. I mean, there's a basic trend here. It's all about people. When I looked at this for a second, it reminded me of the death card that we showed earlier, because I was just seeing the shroud. Let me just show you real quick from our presentation. But it's not that. I mean, this could be a karmic partnership that's coming in. So here's the shroud from the angel of death. And then I was looking at this, like, you see it, right? If I pull it way back, you can see the shroud of death. And then we have right here, death. Kind of cool. So when I'm looking at this and it's in fact a lover card, now if we look at it in a different perspective, we can see the female energy, divine feminine energy, kind of dancing and moving. But I see a divine partnership coming through, karmic divine partnership. So the next person that you're pulling into your life, whether it's a best friend, a mentor, or a lover, you have karma. You've lived lifetimes with, not just one, but probably a few lifetimes. The key issue this lifetime is balance, yin and yang, divine masculine and feminine. So what you will be teaching one another is that we can do both or either. And so there could be a role reversal where one person used to be the one that took care of the other one, and now you need more from that person. You might be trying to get their attention. It could be just showing that you can be equal, but there's power dynamics that are coming in and balancing. So this lifetime, you're gonna balance out those energies, and you can realize that we can both be strong. Okay? So beautiful, beautiful energy this month, and so much love. I never know where a reading is gonna take me, but this one is really beautiful and really exciting. So I feel like lots of doors, lots of people kind of opening up to your energy. So get out there. This is not a month to be a hermit by any means. It's a really great opportunity to sort of like see what's available. All right, let's go ahead now and move on to the big idea. Big idea is one card that we'll see it as our skeleton key that will help you open those doors. So let's go to the big idea. Okay, you got two cards for the big idea. Of course we have another love card and another love card. They're two. Even the Ace of Pentacles is a love card. All right, so your first one is accept nothing less than the best. We have Two of Cups in reverse, which is discerning. It doesn't mean that love won't happen. It doesn't mean that an opportunity won't open up. It doesn't mean that someone doesn't like you. It means that I love myself enough to just realize that I don't have to force this, okay? So you don't have to force this. We see a divine partnership opening up. Also a symbol for fertility there. I mentioned that earlier, so be mindful of that. There's definitely a chance for those of you that have been trying to conceive. It's interesting that a conception card here, the way this one's illustrated, is reversed because when you are trying to conceive, sometimes the pressure of trying to make some outcome happen, it closes down the receptivity. And both parties are trying too hard. So don't try too hard. And again, this can work in work too, or in other relationships. There is this hidden ace. We have the Ace of Pentacles here, and that was the card that I featured at the end, but you don't have to force the ace. Aces come through naturally. So just be open. Someone may be trying to figure out how to ask you out or how to sort of open up a doorway. There's interest here. So one thing that you can do is just let them know that it's going to be fine. They might also be trying to tell you something. It could be someone coming out or making an announcement. And so you just let them know, like, anything you tell me is good. Like, it's not going to change who we are, who you are to me. I do see interest on this. And I do see the big idea this month is something new. An ace is something new. And it's a door opening up for you. And it's positive and it's resource-based. But in love, this plus this equals a proposal or a contract or, an offer on the table. So this could be a job opportunity, a marriage contract, or some other partnership where someone says, do you want to do this? The ace is yours to decide, okay? I'm having a lot of fun reading for you today. It's great energy. So thank you guys for showing up. Let's move on to blessings and blocks. So in every given month, there's something that's really easy. There's something that's a little challenging. We're going to look at both. Blessing, block. Having fun reading with this deck too, so thank you for choosing it today. And I'm glad I'm looking at all my new cards here and able to see them. All right, so your blessing this month is you can do this. We have the Strength card here, a really cool caption on it. Or I thought it said God for a second, it's Gog and Magog. But what I was gonna say with this is don't be afraid to take some time for yourself. I think the hardest thing sometimes is just realizing that rest and sleep and nourishment are so important so that you can go the distance, so you can go the mile. So your body this month is letting you know exactly what it needs. Don't second guess it. So if you need to go to sleep, if you need to eat, if you need to see the doctor, you know exactly what you need. So don't second guess it. The blessing is that it's clear and it's coming through in a very unavoidable and incontrovertible sort of way. Like, I know I need this or I want this. And it is a call to attention and a call to nurturing yourself a little bit more because Strength was reversed. There could be someone in your life that's coming on too strong or is like a helicopter mom or boss. And in this case, you know that energy is something that you can pull back from. I think the truth of it is someone could just be a little bit afraid or unsure of what they will do if you move down a different path. So they're trying to cling or hold on. You don't have to play that game. Your potential block this month is distraction or indecision. And this card actually calls it out as fantasy. So Seven of Cups is a good energy to be in because it allows us to dream the impossible. And I'm cool with fantasy. I like to write sci-fi and fantasy. I think what we want to do is take one of our ideas this month and ground them. So if we look at what we were looking at with the second of the two big idea cards, it's the Ace of Pentacles. So we take one of these ideas symbolized by the 7 cups, and you think to yourself, this is the one I'm most drawn to. Let's bring this now to earth and do something with it. You know, curious thing, I'm always fascinated that very few cups cards it's interesting that it's in the air. I would always think that this would be a better swords card because it's in the air and you're thinking about it. But anyway, with this one, I think the reason that if I could kind of go into the heads of Rider-Waite and Smith, the reason they put cups and they put them in the air is because it's about where does your heart want you to go. Passion. And you may be drawn passionately to all of these things, and until you pull one down, because you could kind of see these as low-hanging fruit. You got to find the best one. Or if you're going to the grocery store, trying to pick the best avocado, you have to kind of feel the one that's not too mushy, just firm enough, that doesn't look like it's bruised. You're doing the same thing with your dreams. You're looking for the one that's just ripe for the picking. And I think that's kind of why they were doing this. The other ones need either time to kind of like nurture themselves a little bit more, or they've passed their due and they're just going to be a seed for the ground. You're going to pick the one that you can actually make the most of. Okay, so the discernment should be easy and also like engaging. And it's when the two meet, something that feels good and something that's going to be very receptive and engaging to your energy. And as long as you can pick one of those, you're fine. But if you vacillate too long in indecision, then it becomes a little challenging for you and for others. So you may need to pull in a project manager, a counselor, a decision maker. And like I said, it's frustrating if you have someone in your life that can't make the decision. You might have to step up and make the decision, okay? So that's what I'm seeing with that. All right, let's move on next to the viewers and readers' choice. Just a quick reminder, I like to occasionally throw this out there. If you enjoy what you're seeing so far, hit the like and subscribe. Feel free to follow me on social media, and you can show a little bit of love and support if you'd like to by using that little $sign there, okay? At the very end, I'll say thanks to anybody that did that. Now we're going to move on to viewers and readers' choice for today. Should be interesting with all of these cards about people. Definitely feel like we can drill a little bit deeper into what this has in store for all of us. So let me grab the keyboard and let's see what is coming through for all of us. All right. So looking at the cards in front of me. Okay, how to decide. So if there are a lot of people in front of you, so this will be relationships. So I'll do relationship. And I'm going to put a colon and I'll say who to pick. If you got a lot of choices in front of you, maybe there's that choice. Who do I engage with? When we're looking at what we just talked about here with the Seven of Cups, how to pick the right path. Let's put it that way. How to pick the right path. I'm going to look at this one because this one's fascinating. I want to look at any sort of karmic energy in relationships. It could also be opportunities. I just can't fit it all there. And let me see if there's a third one. How to shift perspective. Got some interesting choices. Lots. If you make a tie of two of them, I'll read both. Because there's some good choices there. For time, I'm only going to read one or two. All right, so let's go back to the table here. I want to focus now on this one. What is this energy of being the bridge? For those of you that do have a lot of people that are trying to tell you what to do or who to be, what can you do to be the mediator or be the voice of reason in a group or a crowd of people? And if it is in-laws or things of that nature, how can you be the peacekeeper? So it's either the voice of reason or the peacekeeper. We'll let the cards say what? 10 of Cups. I have never pulled so many Cups cards in a reading in the many years that I've been a reader. This is uncanny. Okay, so 10 of Cups. This is basically saying you can't please everybody, but you're going to do a good job. At the end of the day, you have to be happy. So the universe is asking you this question. Are you happy? And would doing this please you and your partner? Remembering again that it's the two of you, for those of you that are in a partnership. And if you're not in the partnership, it's you. But are you happy? Would this make you happier? Or is this solely to placate and to make everyone else in your life happy? If that's the case, it's a no. So choose the path that is satisfactory, that is mutually beneficial, but you do not have to make everybody happy all the time. It's actually a sign of a good leader to do things that shake things up from time to time, because you're going to have to be the boss, call the shots, and that means that mom, dad, aunt, uncle, sister, brother, whatever. They may think, oh my gosh, I can't believe they did that. Well, you did. That was your choice, and you can do what you want to do. It's your life to live. Okay? So that is the bridge. But what you can do is remind them, I love you, your family. I would support you if you wanted to do this. So all I'm asking for is an open mind and an open heart. And if you're not happy, can you be happy for me? Bring it back to love, mutual respect, and something that they should be able to do. And if they can't, then again, it's a note that they're not ready, and you might need to kind of pull back a little bit from how much time and energy you're investing in that person. Okay? Let's see what you chose for me. You guys are having fun. You almost gave me a three-way tie, but I'm going to end the poll and we'll choose, if it's within a point or two, I will do two. So let's see what's coming through for this poll. Okay, it looks like we have a pretty clear winner. It's karmic energy in relationships, but this was pretty close. But I'm going to go with that just so we can keep it on time. All right, so karmic energy in relationships. Let's take a look and see what to understand. So what's the past lesson coming in right now? This will help you out so that you don't repeat history. So this can be in any key relationship in your life, the person you think about the most. What's the karma? What's the past? How do you kind of resolve that? All right, it's about speaking up. So we have the Queen of Swords in reverse. A lot of times she lacks tact. I love the Queen of Swords, and I even love the Queen of Swords in reverse. But what can happen sometimes is she just does or says what she wants, and there's no edit, there's no filter, right? So karmically, what I'm seeing here is that there was an action or a statement that really hurt the other person, or vice versa. And what you're going to be working on in this lifetime is better listening skills and letting both partners speak their minds. Okay? Some of you might just be finding your voice. So the Queen of Swords is coming through saying, you were quiet too long. You get to actually say what you need to say this lifetime. Some of you may see that the other person's very sensitive, so they were hurt before, so you're going to find a way to modify how you speak this lifetime. But if you've been the one that has been silent, kind of like the Tori Amos song, silent all these years, you're finding your voice, right? And this is the time for you to speak up. And you're going to have to tune in emotionally and see what it is, but that's it. It's either having said too much or too little, and this is the chance to find that balance karmically, okay? Very cool. When I think of that Tori song, it's in my head, like she said, I've been here silent all these years. So the strength and the power has always been there. What you sometimes need is just a moment in time to find or to activate it, and then the words come out, and you can't control them. And if you are in that moment where you've always been able to keep your cool or your calm, it's because karmically you were supposed to say it and do it. It needed to get out there. Now that it's out there, you can heal it, you can clear it, you can, move to the next level. Sometimes it just has to be said. And this is not a genie in a bottle card. She is out of that bottle and speaking and will not be put back in. Once you let her out, she's out. So the cat's out of the bag, and this is a chance to really deal with something too. So if you need to say something, by all means say it. This is a chance to heal. Okay, and to show your strength and voice. All right, we're going to move on to sun, rising, and moon specific signs. As I said earlier, you can watch this for any aspect of your chart, but I know that everybody enjoys looking at one of these per month, and many times all three. So we're going to focus a little bit on those. Let's pull the three cards, and we'll talk about the messages coming through. Sun, rising, and moon. Interesting that we're finally getting some minor arcana. We got a lot of major arcana and court cards. Now we're seeing the work being done here. Okay, we'll begin with sun sign messages. So for some of you, we have equilibrium here. I would also say it's like deciding which path that you want. So Scorpio, if you were born under Scorpio, this part of the reading specifically is for you, Scorpio sun. It's saying, even if it's not laid out in front of me, I know what to do. I know how to find the path. To me, the Two of Swords is just two aces, and for many of you, they have it's like shades of gray. I really want this, and I really want this, and I don't know what to do. Or I don't love this, and I don't love this. Is there another choice? So you may be trying to choose between two lackluster or two very impassioned choices. And if it's lackluster, by all means, pick up, like I always think you can put things down and look if you want to, like just say, no, both of these aren't good. I need to change the way I'm thinking completely. So get some distance and look if you don't like the two paths. You don't have to go down that. You could actually go in a different direction. But the truth of the matter is sometimes we have to make a call, and it's quick, and you can't choose that third option. So you're going to close your eyes and think which one feels the best to me, and you're just going to move forward. There'll be plenty of time to course correct later. You can't always trust what you're seeing. There are a few blindfolded cards, Two of Swords, Eight of Swords, and they indicate a need to go within. And the Eight of Swords is an illusion that you're trapped. The Two of Swords is saying you're not looking at everything, or you're avoiding something obvious. So to see something that's obvious, you need to get distance so you can get perspective. If you're not looking enough or not open enough, then you can't see something. And the best card that illustrates it is this Five of Cups. You have to go in a different direction to see what else is out there, okay? So all of those messages can apply to different people. So to break it down one more time, there may be a less obvious choice in front of you. You may have to make a decision quickly. You'll be okay if you have to do that. You can't ignore something. The Two of Swords asks you to pay attention to it. And if you embrace all of these things, you'll have a single sword and an ace, and you can go down a path and enjoy whatever rewards await you. All right, so those are the sun sign messages. For rising or ascendant, we're going to be looking at how you might be connecting with the world at large. This could be friends, community, business. It's also how you're projecting your energy. Couldn't ask for a better card. Nine of Wands, perseverance, strength, finishing what you started. Also, someone who is, again, so resilient. Typically in the Nine of Wands, you would see a bandage on the head. Sometimes they have like a sling on their arm. It's saying, I've been through the battlegrounds, but I came back, I survived, I have a few bruises and scars to prove it, and I'm going to finish what I started. So this is not the time to give up, but it is a time to take care of yourself. Nine of Wands can be connected with mental fatigue, headaches, migraines. If you're getting any of those things, standard disclaimer applies. You should go talk to a doctor. But it could also just be a sign of you needing to just take care of yourself and slow down a little bit. Don't overthink. I think that's going to be really important. But when I look at the lens that you're projecting, it's one of power and strength, and someone that I would be happy to have as a friend, as a coworker in my life. Ultimately, it is strength, survival, perseverance, resilience. It's a good card. For minor arcana, Nine of Wands is good. It's also an indication that you've come very far on the journey and you're very close to what you're trying to achieve. So don't give up. Now let's go to Moon. This is saying don't freak out. So we have the Nine of Swords. Although we'll talk a little bit about mourning. Typically the Nine of Swords is saying, it's like a list of what ifs. What if this happens? Or why didn't I do this? It's a should have, could have, would have, or what if this, or what if that. And that has a time and a place, but it can't be the sole energy. So I believe that we should put insurance policies in place in our life just to protect against, things that can happen. That's just a smart and a good practice to have. But we shouldn't focus solely on what bad things might happen in our lives. Let's focus instead on what good things could happen and how we could do those. So for this one, instead of the nightmare, focus on the dream and the potential. Nine of Swords can also just be sheer exhaustion, and you're one away from the 10, which can be sickness or chronic pain. Nine of Swords is when you've burned the candle at both ends. So for those of you that work a couple, 2 or 3 jobs, or you're going to school and you're a parent and you're balancing all these different things. First of all, you're doing a great job, but you need to take care of yourself and you need to let one thing go this week. Say no to something, press pause on something. give a little bit less, show up a little bit less at everything, because even if you're giving 75%, you're still showing up. You need to sleep a little bit more for sure, and you need to take care of yourself a little bit, okay? Let's go specifically with this unique interpretation, which says mourning. It's okay. It's a part of the process of processing energy, right? Having just done that this year, that was part of it. I certainly cried a bit, going through all of the loss and the frustration and the surprise of losing someone. I didn't cry in the move. It was joyful. But I did feel a moment where I was like, my mom would have really enjoyed seeing the space, and she would be happy that I'm in a better place. But the tears can be happy, they can be joyful, they can be sad, but they're just transitional. So let yourself move through this and focus now on what's next, what now. And I would say you're moving towards a new day. Even the Ten of Swords carries with the new dawn on the horizon. So it's going to get much better than it is right now. And it's probably far better than you're giving it credit for. So I just see stress and fatigue, and I see an opportunity for many of you to reset onto something else. And even if it's not stress and fatigue, the other thing here is you could be missing something. I think that there's a need for like relaxation or playful energy to come into your life. Something to just sort of shake it up a little bit so that we have more fluid fun coming into your energy. It's a part of a healthy brain, actually, is playtime. So do something joyful, do something fun. I think that will help you out a lot as well. Okay? That, my friends, is the main portion of the reading. We have one more important part. Let's just talk about what's coming up next. So I have a final card at the end. So if there's a special question that I haven't answered, maybe something career-oriented, maybe something about something only you would know in your life, save that. We'll take a look at it at the end. We're going to do two things first. Brief meditation where we open ourselves up here. There's so much love. I want to kind of work on the opening of the heart today. So we'll open up the heart, and then I'll play a singing bowl for a moment, and then I'll look at that final question. Okay? Awesome. All right. So I would love for you right now to relax. Get yourself comfortably seated. You can always go back and listen to this portion later if you're driving, walking, etc. Just hang on, because we'll do the final card in a second. But for everyone else that can enjoy the meditation, close your eyes, take a nice deep breath, and give yourself a little bit of a massage. If you've been holding on to any energy in your shoulders, just gently do a little bit of a self-massage. It works. You can just kind of pretend like it's dough, and you're going to knead the muscles just a little bit on both sides. Loosen everything up. It feels really good. Why don't we do this more often to ourselves? It's almost like you're giving yourself a little hug. You can do that too. And just kind of work the energy in your neck and your shoulders. This is a nicer and a more gentle way than doing kind of like the twisting around of the neck. So we're not you don't have to go crazy here. Just gently knead this and then relax. And if we look at the cards, look at all of the green that's on this table. So much green. So we're going to work with the color green and the energy of the heart. So I'd love for you to see yourself in a field of lavender. We're going to connect it to the totem. And lavender is so beautiful. It's not overwhelming unless you kind of put your face in it. So just see this beautiful field of lavender around you. And there's a nice little hammock in the middle where you can sit and just enjoy. So there's pollinators everywhere, butterflies, bees, hummingbirds, ladybugs, all these beautiful insects, dragonflies, all powerful, all positive. And you can pick the one that you like the most, but just imagine that one of those aforementioned pollinators gently lands on your chest. I find that a butterfly, ladybug, or something that has wings would be the best. You can imagine a little hummingbird sits there for a second and just kind of chills for a second if you'd like that as well. But see something with wings and see it stretching its wings out for a second, preening a little bit. And as it's doing that and it flaps the wings a little bit, you start to see beautiful green and purple and violet energy moving around you, because the butterfly, the ladybug, or the dragonfly is starting to pull in this energy of spiritual protection, which is the purple or the lavender, and then also the green energy, which is the heart space. So you are protected, you are nurtured, you are abundant, you are rich, and you are open to receive these sorts of things in your life. love, abundance, spiritual growth, all of the above. And you can add to this list and then at the end say all of this or better, and in a timing that I couldn't even imagine, faster and better than I could imagine. All of this or greater, in the divine good, in my highest good. Just sit here and receive these sorts of things as I'm playing the singing bowl. See your heart opening up with each flap of the wings of the insect. See the beautiful glow of purple embracing, almost like it's like a halo around your head, opening you up to spiritual protection and spiritual insight. And just enjoy as you're laying there on the hammock, breathing in the sweet lavender smell. All right. In this moment in time, see whatever beautiful spiritual insect was sitting there and bringing forth this healing energy and say thank you. Gently step up from the hammock, stretch a little bit, take a nice deep breath. Inhale, exhale, open your eyes if you haven't already. And at this point, I'd like you to focus on your question that you have for me. All right, let's see what the answer to your final question is. Interesting. Okay. So we have the Hanged Man in reverse, which typically would say the wait is over, but it's also saying don't rush to your sort of like destination or to what you're trying to do here. So the Hanged Man in and of itself comes through when we are asked to be patient, to absorb, and to learn, just as Odin learned the secret of the runes, if we trace it to its mythology. So the pause is not permanent. It's usually a plateau or a temporary delay. The pause is not indicative of anything bad. It typically brings with it a blessing or something stronger or better. The pause disappears the minute we learn the lesson, the minute we accept. And one of the messages today was like surrender. Here it is. In health. So when you surrender to what needs to change, then the path to what you need to do opens up and it's clear. Excuse me. So I would say for many of you, if it's a yes, no, the Hanged Man in reverse is not yet, but soon. It is a positive card and it does show an opening, but it's saying don't rush it. The other thing that I would say with this, if we flip it and think about those of you that have been waiting to start something or to do something, it's saying, yeah, the time is probably overdue for that. So if you're on the fence and not sure, wait. It's going to be okay. If you're impatient and haven't heard back, wait. If you know and you have known for a long time, then this is the indication that, yeah, it's overdue and it's going to be fine, and you'll make up for lost time. We can take time out of the equation. It's neither too late or too soon. Stop thinking of it in that terms. Think to yourself, have I learned everything that I need to from this person, place, or thing? And if I'm holding on or if I'm impatient, why? Is it because I just want it? Is it because others are expecting something? The interesting thing about whatever it is you're focusing on is that the question has nothing to do with, like, it is not about the yes or the no, it's about everything else around it. So don't worry so much, be more present, and it feels like everything's unfolding in its cosmic timing, okay? A couple of other things with the Hanged Man. Do take care of yourself. The Hanged Man can show sometimes a lack of activity. There can be specifically issues with ankles or the foot, because that's where Odin hanged himself from the tree. Sorry, I just hit the lens cap above me. But basically, if you've had a sprained ankle or a broken foot before, there could be just a little sensitivity and you just want to strengthen that part of your body. Otherwise, you're fine. Everything is unfolding in cosmic timing. You don't need to rush and you don't need to focus on the timing so much. More like, do I want to do this, and why am I feeling pressured? And everything will unfold in its own divine timing, okay? That's what I'm picking up on. Okay, so folks, that brings us to the final portion here, which is gratitude. So first of all, if it's your first time here, I just want to say thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed today, and I'm going to be doing both this and a bunch of new style of videos. I'm opening up to some new stuff this summer, so I'm going to do some short middle form videos as well. Like I said, maybe 7 to 10 minutes. I do a lot of long form ones, so every single month I do 12 for all the signs, and then I do weekend ones for the week ahead, and then I do short form daily ones that are 1 minute. But I'm going to do some in the middle, some topical ones. At some point, I'll be launching the podcast and exploring some new things. So this year is a year of change. I changed environments. I'm going to change up some of what I'm doing here too. So quick little note, if you haven't subscribed, please do that so you can keep track of what's going on. And I'd love to see you on social media as well. And I have to keep underlining this. I don't do private readings. I don't send out friend invites, and I don't use chat. So ignore anyone that's doing any of that. All right, so now on to thanks. So for those of you that have been with me for a long time, thank you, welcome back, it's good to see you. For those of you that gave back today or recently joined as a member, I just wanted to take a moment and express some gratitude. So we'll begin with the brand new members. Again, anyone in the last 24 hours, I'll call out here. So Brynhilder, thank you so much for rejoining after 1 year. So happy 1 year anniversary for being a channel member. It's good to have you here. Kiki, thank you for 22 months, almost at 2 years. Good to have you as well. You rejoined. Ginny Harcourt, thank you for being a brand new member. LL, rejoining after 35 months. That's a long time. You've been with me a while. Thank you so much for your support. Julie Jacobs, Diane Bengston, Anita Buyan, I think it is, all in the past couple of days. Joining and then upgrading with Diane too. So thank you all for your love and support. I appreciate that. All right, let's take a moment now and say thanks to anybody that gave super stickers or super chats today. Again, helping me get some new decks here, which I will be doing soon, and also do these different types of videos. All right, so for today, Amitabha, thank you so much for kicking things off. I saw your contribution when I stepped into the room. Allison Lau, thank you as well. Sherry Wolf, thank you for your love and gratitude. Right back at you. Delnaz, thank you. Bohemian Girl, good name there. I'm glad you enjoyed the reading. Thank you as well. And Ready Now, perfect name for what we were talking about today, because it is all about being ready and taking this step in this moment in time. All right, folks. That's all for today. I will be back again tomorrow, same time, and I'll also be here on Sunday. Basically, every Monday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, I'm live. Every single day, I do a 1 minute reading, and I'll be peppering in some additional types of readings, TBD. Take a look at the community tab if you haven't already, and you can tell me what you like. I'd love to see it. It's the first post right now. Actually, it might be the second, but it's probably going to slide down as time goes on. But just take a look for it. You'll see there's a poll of different things that you want to see. Coming up this week, we will be looking at Sagittarius on Friday, again, weekly on Sunday. Next week, I'll be doing Capricorn on Monday, a bonus on Thursday, and Aquarius on Friday. And then following week, Pisces. So keep an eye out for the schedule. You can see it on my website if you'd like to as well. Actually, I can put that up before we finish up today. And again, from my heart to yours, thank you so much for being amazing today. Lots of love and light to you. Have a great one. And I'll see you again real soon, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.